Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. I finally found time to do another YouTube video. Um, uh, One inside my room or whatever. The past 2 days have been absolutely insane, and it's not really necessarily because of the weather. It's because I've been spending all my free time either getting homework done, which was pretty much all day yesterday, it seemed like, and I yeah, I got a lot of homework done yesterday. No, I didn't get all done. I got my history homework done yesterday, which took a lot longer than I expected, but I got hundreds on everything, so I guess that's a good thing. I'm at a B plus of my history class right now. As far as my theater class goes, I finished that today. I waited till the evening to get done though, because this morning I literally didn't even get up till like 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I kind of just got um, did my personal stuff for a couple of hours, and I decided I was going to go out and shovel the sidewalk. Well, of course, 2 inches of that was pure ice. I was like, this is insane. And then the driveway was no joke either. I felt like the driveway was a lot harder, and by that point, I was starting to run out of steam, not to mention getting dehydrated because we ran out of water. So I was like, well, I really need to go to the grocery store and go get more water. So I started chipping at the ice on my car, which there was about 2 inches of it, which I said in my last vlog on top of that. And yeah, I was definitely not impressed. I was under the impression TJ was even supposed to be coming up here tonight, but thank God he's staying home. And from this point forward, what he does with his life is his own personal business. I respect that. I highly respect that. But anyway, I finally did get all the snow and ice off my car for the most part, and it looked like my front tire on the driver's side was almost flat. I was like, ugh! So I kind of panicked a little bit, and I went in the house. I let my parents know, hey, I have to go take care of the car for a little bit. Oh, you just need to go to the house for a little bit. I was like, no, not necessarily. I really need to get that taken care of. And I said, well, this gives me an excuse too to go get more water. So I grabbed my wallet and keys, put them, and changed my boots out for my regular shoes. Went back to the car. I managed to get over to the United Dairy Farmers, and oh my word, the roads were a mess. It was insane. And then I went from there to Airport Ford, and they looked at the tire and they said, "Oh, you're in good shape. The tire does not have a leak in it." So I was like, "Thank God for that." And I said, "Well, I'm right across the street, so to speak, from Kroger. There's another Kroger." So I took the back route around, and I stopped at the Kroger and I went inside, got a case of water, and I got myself a hot mocha, a white chocolate caramel. Yeah, it was like a white chocolate mocha or something like that. I got a venti. I have at least $35 worth of gift cards. I'm slowly but surely going through, and I have it on my phone now. I put everything literally on my gold card, which I got like years ago when I was completely addicted to Starbucks. So this was back in high school. Ever since I started losing weight, though, I have noticed that I have not really been getting the frappuccinos anymore. So I'm instead getting like the mochas, or I'm getting iced coffee. Like I personally feel like I'm doing a lot better. Like even frappuccinos just don't taste as good to me like they used to. I can't even really drink Coke or Pepsi anymore. It's incredible. And I've been noticing I've been getting full faster, so I definitely feel like I've been losing weight. I don't even fit into 46s anymore unless I wear a belt like super tight, and I'm finally fitting in 44s again. So my weight's definitely going down because I really want to get on Haggard's this year, and if I don't fit on it in 20 days from tomorrow, I'm going to be very mad because that's when I'm going to Universal. So in 20 days, if I don't fit on Hagrid's, we're gonna have a problem. That's the best way to put it. But hey, I got some exercise out there shoveling snow and ice. If it was just snow, I might have considered working out. Plus, I had so much homework to do tonight. Depending on if my work does tea time tomorrow, will determine whether I decide, and I also, depending on how I feel, will determine whether I feel like staying after or even just going back home and working out for a little bit, having dinner, which I'm probably going to be on my own for dinner tomorrow anyway. And then Sunday, I'm going to spend at least the first couple of hours relaxing, enjoying lunch. Maybe my brother will come over. I was going to go work out. If my brother does come over, I was going to spend the good chunk of the day playing video games and board games. And then I was going to go to Bible study. And then that evening, I was going to start working on the history homework. I was going to at least get maybe a chapter read or something like that, because I wouldn't mind getting a bit of a head start. I don't need to, but I'm choosing to for next week's homework anyway. It only took me 5 days to get my homework done. 5 full, long days. And the only day that I didn't spend the entire day working on my homework was on Wednesday, and even then I still spent like 3 or 4 hours. And 5 hours has been my maximum amount of time I've been spending a day on homework. So let's see here. 5 on Sunday, I would say at least. Forgot about Sunday, I did homework on Sunday. So 5 on Sunday. Monday I did homework. So I actually did homework for about 6 days. Did 5 hours on Monday, so that's about 10 hours. Tuesday I did 5 hours worth of homework, so we're at 15. Wednesday I did 4, so now I'm at 19. Yesterday I did 5, so now I'm at 24, and today I spent about 5, so I was at 29. So roughly I spent about 30 hours on average a week doing homework. That's just normal. If I spend anything less than that, that means I'm not doing something right. Or when I go on vacation, maybe it's just because I don't feel like putting as much effort since I'm on vacation. But I'm still going to be doing my homework even that week, because the last thing I want is for my grade to go. I mean, as it is, my grade on my history grade was literally at a F or something to that extent. Yeah, it was at an F, but I managed to bring it up to a B plus. So I must be doing something right, and that was just all this week too. So that's pretty good. Anyway, enough of me rambling on about what's going on in my life right now. I wanted to talk to you guys about the next chapter of my high school days. And the next chapter, or episode, whatever, is going to cover my high school orientation for ninth grade anyway. So the very first night, orientation was mainly held in the auditorium. We got a chance to see or meet all the teachers. I had my parents there, so I wasn't as nervous. And I saw someone from middle school I hadn't seen in years, and I gave her a really weird compliment, and my parents kind of got upset with me because I didn't say it right. So I tried to correct myself, but at least she understood where I was coming from. I don't exactly remember what was going through my mind at the time. I mean, come on, let's see here, this is 2009, so 13 years ago, so I was 15 at the time. I mean, come on. What 15-year-old is always going to think of a clever, think clearly or whatever. I mean, come on, I'm 28 years old and I still have a hard time thinking. That's just normal. You would think, oh, I'm older, everything's going to be better. No, not at all. It's like, I wish, but, you know. And, I remember feeling kind of nervous because I was like, oh man, this is school I'm going to. If I remember correctly, I believe that I got a chance to go from one classroom to the next and kind of got an idea of what all the what the teachers were going to be expecting, what their classrooms were going to be like. I believe I also learned that night that the teachers wanted us to keep all of our school supplies in the lockers. You're going to find that interesting later on down throughout the YouTube series. And I admit there was a better way for me to keep my stuff in my locker than bringing and putting it all in a book bag. Obviously, 15-year-old me would have thought, oh, let's just put a book bag in the locker and I'll just run to the locker every time I need something, which, I mean, we're supposed to go to the locker between classes. But of course, I had my books in my book bag in a really weird way. And that did not help matters whatsoever. These days, what I would do is I would put the last textbooks I need on the very bottom, and just kind of work the textbooks all the way up to the top of the first textbooks I will need for that day. And that way, it's just an easy go to the locker, do the combination, or unlock the padlock, grab the textbook I need, close the locker, lock it back up, go to the classroom. And back then, I wrote super slowly, so I got special permission from the teachers during my orientation to bring a laptop to school, which you'll find more about that later on as well. These days, I would still like to use a laptop, but the good news is because I have a Chromebook now, it would be a lot easier for me to set up. I wouldn't have to plug in or anything these days like I used to. I would literally be able to bring my Chromebook with me to school, and I would be able to set it up everything within like a minute. So I have gotten a lot faster over the years. I didn't have a lot of a sense of urgency at the very beginning of high school, and that kind of changed over the years, which is kind of interesting, but you know. And I also got a chance to kind of learn what the calendar of events was going to be like. I found out they did this thing called a snow day, and when I first looked at the school calendar and saw they had a snow day on there, I was kind of like, what? In Florida? And I kind of just started looking outside, so to speak, like, I don't know. Looks a little warm out there to me for snow. And when the snow day did arrive, I was like, okay then. I mean, they called it a snow day, but it was anything but a snow day. I guess that's the best way to put it. I just had 2 snow days. And yes, I had snow days from work, but they weren't from school. Even though the school closed down, the professors were all working from their homes. That's how they were able to grade all my stuff. And I was working from home. And the students were all working from home. That's the nice thing about taking online college, because I'm like, oh, the college is closed, I see. Well, that's okay, because I can work online anyway. So, online does not close. Unless your internet decides to go out, or the internet decides to go out. Facebook has done that a couple of times already. So, yeah, not surprised about that. Me back then, if I had seen that, I probably would have been like, cool, I don't have to do school for 2 days, and then I would have fallen really behind, but that was me back then. I thought like that. I was like, oh, cool, that gives me an excuse to not do class for 2 days. It's like, no, it does not apply to online students. I wish there was an email that went out the past couple of days that said, unless you're an online student, you're not exempt. Sorry, I'm a little hyper tonight. I slept way too much last night, so I'm like really wide awake, which is not a good thing because I have to get up at 7 in the morning, and I'm gonna get up at 7 in the morning and be like, but you know, it is what it is. I only have to do it for 1 day, and then I'm off again for 3 days, and I have to get up by 8 in the morning on Sunday because I gotta run the video for my church. But that's okay. It doesn't sound like they have a lot of people to help right now. But, I mean, I guess the best way I can conclude this chapter is I kind of want you guys to, or I kind of wanted to tell you guys about what I was like versus what I'm like now to help prepare you for the next several episodes. Orientation day only lasted a couple of hours. Yes, I did learn quite a bit that night, but I pretty much covered it. What I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys about is when I start my first day of classes. That's going to be a really interesting chapter because that's when you're going to learn about my old habits or more of my old habits, and just kind of how I did things and how it affected the teachers and how they had to ask me to change my habits a little bit, even though it was hard for me at the time, but I had to start making it happen just because of the fact that it was also affecting other students as well, which is not a good thing. So, with that being said, just before I end, I did suddenly remember. So, there was a girl that I went to middle school with. Her name was Talia, and I had this huge crush on her. I mean, granted, when she was in middle school, she wasn't the most attractive girl. I mean, what girl in middle school is like super attractive? I mean, yeah, I mean, there are some, but the point is, when I saw her again in ninth grade, I almost didn't recognize her. She really changed. Not only it did look like she got taller, but it looked like she was older. She was wearing lots of makeup, and she just seemed like a completely different person. And for all I know, she may not have recognized me. But back then, nobody really cared about me because my autism was so bad. Like, I was always the weirdo that would go absolutely insane over girls. I was smiling and waving at them, trying to be too nice, versus these days, I know how to talk to women without coming across as flirtatious or almost coming across as like over the top or whatever. And that's probably why I have a lot more female friends these days. I've learned to understand that women are people too, because I had a really weird view of even women or girls when I was in middle school and early high school. I didn't completely understand them, and I really only understood the guys. That's why I usually hung around the guys. But as I've gotten older, I definitely would say that I've learned to understand just people in general. And I've had some really, really good conversations with people, both men and women, or guys and girls, over the past few years or so. And I've developed some very strong friendships. I mean, that doesn't mean that every single friendship I've had is still active today, but I'm extremely blessed and thankful for those friendships and the friendships I even have today. I'm extremely thankful for everybody I've met at the Ark Encounter, even. And, I mean, I won't deny that culinary has not been the easiest department for me to work in, but I have honestly learned a lot, which eventually I am going to talk about that on YouTube, but not just now. I would like to do a YouTube video on everything I learned about culinary. There is a reason why I'm waiting, because of the fact that what I'm wanting to talk to you guys about will eventually have a more of an important meaning or impact later on down the road. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this to YouTube and think about doing another YouTube video before I go to bed. And until then, I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night. Peace out.